welcome to Viggy Talks, a conversation show about the creative things that inspire us each and every day. My guest today is a huge inspiration for my ukulele journey. She is from the island of Hawaii. You can check out her new single, Gotta Get It, which is out now by the time this is released. And she is such an amazing ukulele player and instrumentalist who's going on tour soon. And fingers crossed she comes by the New York area because I'll be going. Please welcome my guest, Taimane. Hi, Taimane.
Hi, hello. It's nice to be a part of this.
So nice to meet you. You're technically the first guest that I don't know, so this is also very exciting.
Yeah,
I get to meet you on here. So really happy you could come and chat with me today. I have a lot of fun questions to get to know you, and yeah, this is gonna be a lot of fun. So thanks for coming out.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So in doing my research on you for my interview today, I read that you started playing the ukulele when you were 5 years old, which is no surprise because you are amazing at it. But I wanted to ask, so do you remember what the very first song you learned was at 5, or one of the earlier songs you learned?
I do. So the very first song was Three Blind Mice. And it was just in the key of C. It was just C and you just strum it down. I can play it for you. I still know it. But it was Three Blind Mice. And then I think my first really like finger style song was Tico Tico,
Oh,
um,
cool.
which I still play as well. So yeah, kind of where I
That's
started.
awesome. With a song like Tico Tico that you've been playing for that long, is it cool to see the evolution, like as you grow as a player, like how maybe some spots in the song like became more effortless the more you played it? Because that's got to be cool, right?
Yeah, I think I've played it for so long that it's kind of cool that I can kind of just take a step back and just let my fingers take over and just watch it do its thing. And I like that feeling where it's really muscle memory. I've played for so long. It's really just in my brain that I can just let my fingers kind of just do its thing and I can kind of relax. While some other songs, that I'm learning, I'm still practicing, you're really just focused and there's so much energy still trying to play it correctly. So I really enjoyed that process of seeing it become more smooth and like being able to relax and focus on other things when I'm performing.
There's a great Paul McCartney quote where he's talking about how he's been playing, Eleanor Rigby for how many years now. And when he's on stage and he gets to certain songs, he's not even there. He's like thinking about like what he needs to do when he gets home and he's like standing up there playing songs. So that's really cool. It's really interesting, yeah, to have those certain songs you don't have to think about. Those are always my favorite songs when I build set lists. I'm like, all right, I have to do this one because I have to chill from the other song I did that required a lot.
Yeah, right. And there's those bread and butters that you always have to play too.
hmm
So yeah.
Yeah. So that kind of segues nicely into my next question about kind of building set lists. One of my favorite performances of yours is your Tiny Desk concert, which is something that you only get a handful of songs to pick. So when it
Yeah.
comes to building a set list for both a small show and then something longer, like when you go on tour, how do you kind of navigate that? How do you pick songs that do you pick ones that flow one into the other? Do you pick ones based on kind of like we were saying, like something that takes a little more mental juice than something else that you can kind of rely on the muscle memory for? Or talk to me a little bit about your experience building set lists for certain events.
Sure. Really, that's a really good question.
Thank you.
So I actually start with what kind of gig is it? Is it one specifically for ukulele players? Is it one for people who don't know who I am? You know what I
Right.
mean? Or yeah, or is it more of like an artistic festival? They all kind of have different vibes. And
hmm
so that's kind of where I start. Of course, I have the bread and butters, which I usually start and end with. Those are
Right.
probably the most important because that's what people are going to remember the most.
hmm
And then it's kind of a loose set list. So I have the set list and then I go on stage and I start and then I kind of go where the people want to go, if that makes sense.
hmm
Maybe they are in like a really dancey type of energy, so I'll pick another song and they want something upbeat. Or if it's more of a concert hall vibe and I can see that they're really enjoying the slower songs and more of the stories behind it, then I kind of go with that. So
hmm
I have like a set list, but then I kind of go off and then I just say good luck to my musicians. I hope you know all my songs because they never know where I'm going to go. So that's kind of how I pick.
That's cool. That was gonna be my next question. I was gonna say, do you let them know, or you just turn around and call it and then go, all right, we're going?
That's exactly what happens. Yep. Yep. Yeah.
That's that's awesome. That's really cool. I know when I write sets out, I'll do certain songs. So I have a thing too. I wonder if you're this way, where when I write, I have to physically handwrite my set lists out with a pen so that I remember. Like, and I'll make multiple copies of them, but it like I can't do a printed one. Like I need to have handwritten it myself. And with that, I'll put certain songs in like red ink, and those ones I'll be like, okay, if you're kind of tired right now, you can skip this one and it's okay. Or if you feel like people are really digging it, you can do this one. So I give myself almost like checkpoint songs. And sometimes I like feel out how I'm doing versus like, or if the audience is feeling something else, I kind of do like almost like a trolley situation. I'm like, you could do this one or this one, and then come back into your set list that way. So that's cool that you also make those adjustments. Mine aren't so much on the fly, but one day I'll get to doing them on the fly like you. That's really awesome.
That's smart though. That's very smart. I kind of do, I actually add like three extra songs just in
Hmm.
case they want like an encore or
Right.
a different vibe, like you said. And I kind of
Hmm.
just put it on the side as like, maybes. So, and then I also write mine out too.
Oh,
Um,
cool.
yeah, I like to write it out. And I always find like it's just like a napkin or like an
Hmm.
envelope, and I'll just write it and then I'll just bring it with me on stage and I just leave it right on stage with me.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm also a whatever piece of something is around. I have stuff on napkins and like all kinds of stuff like that. So that's cool. I'm glad you're like that too. I love your mashups that you do. You find these similarities in songs that you wouldn't think to put together. So I really want to ask you what makes for a good mashup? Do you look for
Mhm.
songs that are in a similar key, or do you change the key depending on like what two songs you want to put together? Because some of my favorites that you've done are your Pure Imagination and Closer to You on the
Oh,
baritone.
neat.
I think that one is so beautiful, and those are two songs that it's like, this is so cool. Like I don't even think of these guys together. And then of course we have our Carmen in Phantom of the Opera, which is iconic Queen moment. Like, so tell me a little bit about your mashup process. Like, do you kind of have, is it two songs you're vibing with, or is there more to it?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I usually know bits and pieces of songs that I kind of have fun with. So for example, maybe like a little Wicked Game, or maybe I'll know a little bit and piece of like Journey, usually just the chorus, the main parts of songs. But then I kind of start with one and then just see if it works. Definitely in the same key,
Mm-hmm.
usually in the same key. Um, and yeah, I just play it over and over and over and just see if there's certain ways that it would flow correctly.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I just have like bits and pieces of songs in my head where they just stay there, and then and I'll try a song and then it'll kind of pop up in my head like, oh, this would be kind of cool. So yeah, I guess it's kind of just a very creative, whatever, let's just
Mm-hmm.
see. Not so much structured of like, okay, Carmen is going to go into this song, into this song, into this song. It was more of just like
Right.
flowing in that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Plus,
Yeah.
to be honest, I've been playing these songs for a long time,
Mm-hmm.
and they kind of just add more songs, kind of add on to it, throughout the
Yeah.
year. And that's kind of how like these structured um little mashups happen.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. It's funny how you said sometimes they add on as the years go by, because I
Mhm.
know I have a fingerstyle arrangement of What I've Done by Linkin Park. And
Ooh,
as I was practicing it one time, the intro reminded me of the theme song to The Mandalorian. So I was like, these shows have nothing in common, but now whenever I do it, I start with The Mandalorian and then I go into it. And it's
yeah.
just because they're on like the same string, same key, like you were saying. So that's really cool. I like how those come together for you. And
Yeah.
I was
Mhm.
wondering if it had something to do with like because a lot of your covers are short. So a lot of my covers are short. The mashup ones, I mean.
Mhm.
Because I come from like the TikTok side of it where it's like a minute max kind of a thing. So I
Yeah.
know sometimes if someone asks me for a fingerstyle thing, I'll only do like a minute, and maybe it's the chorus or something, and then like maybe I kind of forget about it. So that's almost a cool way to kind of combine a bunch of like smaller moments from songs that you've done. It might not have gone out of the way to do the whole thing.
Yeah.
So That's really interesting. I might have to cop that and then check on some of my little ideas that I've had and kind of web them together. That'd be really
Yeah, I think we have the same process in that way, where you're playing one song and then you hear a melody, which is completely not in the same genre, but you're
Mhm.
like, oh, this would be kind of cool. And then you go with it, and then there you go. There's a nice little mashup.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I think you want to play things that people recognize, which is usually the chorus, for the most
Mhm.
part. So you really just need to learn that part, and you just put little bits and pieces, and goes well. And the fun thing part about mashups too is that you can elongate them or you can make them shorter,
Right.
depending on, again, on the crowd, and see like, oh my gosh, they're really enjoying this one. Let me do this verse again or this chorus again. And okay, maybe they don't really know this song, so let's just go really quick to the next one, which I love about mashups.
Yeah.
The audience is so different from each other that, each song can really hit a person. And so why not do all of them and try and hit all of the audience's hearts at the same
Mhm.
time. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Do you have a specific mashup do you think is like maybe the craziest pairing between the two, whether it be the genres or like, yeah, just like the wildest one?
Yeah. Well, the wildest one, or like the most global one, is I can sing in different languages, and so
Mhm.
sometimes I'll play for big private gigs where people are international, and then
Oh,
they see
cool.
this ukulele girl come up, and I'll start singing in French, and then all the French people get crazy, and then I'll start singing like in Hindi, and then all of like the people from India just get crazy, and so it's really cool to go around the world in that mashup. People, yeah, people like that because they're like, who are you? Like I'm from like China, and like I've never heard this song. Like, it reminds me of my childhood. And so it's
Right.
really cool to be able to connect people in that way. Yeah.
That's really sweet. That's such an amazing take on that. I didn't think that's a great answer.
Thanks.
That's really cool. I have to ask about your double low G setup,
All
which
right.
I'm sure you're probably asked about that a lot. So that's mad cool. So how did you get into finding that extra bassy sound? Do you like just the extra kind of droning thing that comes with two extra strings?
Yeah, so it's just been years and years and years of playing. I started on a concert because I was, a little girl. So I started with a concert, typical G, C, E, A with the high G.
Mm-hmm.
Then I think I got an eight string after that with
Oh,
like
cool.
low G's, and that was just a whole different type of sound. And then over the years, I started taking off strings because, it's kind of hard to play eight strings after, it's a lot of strings.
Right. There's a lot going
But
on there.
yeah. So that, I started like with the A string, I took that off, and then the E string, I took that off, and then I had a six string. And then I finally made the decision to take the C string off, and then I just kind of stuck with two low Gs. And I personally like that for my style of playing, which is more like flamenco Spanish. I just
Yeah.
love that bass sound.
Mm-hmm.
Because I also think it really balances the sound of the ukulele, which tends to be very high pitched. So I
Yeah,
just,
real.
me personally, I liked the balance of it, and I like playing with the bass a little bit. So it just really gives it that oomph. Sometimes it can be a little bit too much,
Mhm.
but whatever, it's fine.
Yeah. Whatever. There's nothing wrong with a little bit of extra bass. I love
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, I was curious as to how you got to the five because I guess I didn't think of eight subtracted. In my head, I was like, did she add one to a four string? I was like, wait. So, no, that's really cool. Eight would be a little much for me, I think. But I've never played a six. But six is the doubled C string as well? Or sometimes they double a different string?
Yeah, I think they double different strings. I think it's definitely like a G and then either a C or an E that they
Hmm.
double as well. Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and I like the five string because back in the day, um, five strings were still new. I think they're
Hmm.
really becoming popular now.
Yeah.
So it was
Thanks to
kind
you,
of
I would say.
thanks.
Yeah.
Uh, it's a unique thing which I enjoyed. People always thought it was really different and unique and a fun thing to talk about. So it's nice to see it becoming more popular. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, totally. I love your Enya signature you have. You have the two models with the five string also is really cool. So yeah, I just think they're gonna get even more popular because a lot of people are leaning towards the more tenor scale and converting that to a low G. So even having that extra low string is pretty cool. And I started messing around with a baritone lately. I got a
Yeah.
baritone like 6 months ago, and that just like blew
Yeah.
my whole world open. I was like, oh, okay, we got a lot of nice low tones going on here. So all for the nice low strings. So that's really cool.
Nice. What kind of baritone did you get? What kind of wood too?
Ooh, so she's actually right here. I have it's a mango, solid mango. It's the Fireball baritone. She's so loud, and she's my big Bertha because she looks gigantic against my face.
Beautiful. I have one too that's mango as well,
Mm-hmm.
actually. Yeah, mango
A
sounds
mango,
good for
yeah.
baritone.
Mm-hmm. I love it. I love it. So we're gonna do a really quick little rapid fire like this or that. So it'll just be
Okay.
three little questions, a little this or that. So the first one is a live show or a late night jam.
Oh gosh. I think a live show. I'm
Mm-hmm.
a grandma. Like late night is tough for me now. So live show at like 7. I'm good with
Mm-hmm.
that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
even matinee show, 3 o'clock. Get out at like 5.
Perfect.
Yep.
Love it.
hmm
Yeah.
The next one is practicing. Or I guess that's almost the same thing, but practicing versus performing, or I guess like building the set versus putting it on.
Performing. I'm a
hmm
performer girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
hmm
hmm
Cool. And then the last one we kind of touched on earlier, but original key versus transposing the song for your arrangements.
Oh, transposing.
hmm
Yeah, transposing. Because some songs sound better in like a different key. You know how like TikTok now they're like slowing things or adding reverb or they're like speeding songs up now? You
hmm
know, there's just something to it in that way. So yeah, transposing.
Yeah, that's cool.
I have no idea what I'm gonna play. All I know is I'm gonna grab the baritone and then just see what happens. I don't know yet. I don't know what to play, but we'll
That's
figure it out.
cool.
Is there anything in particular that you want to hear?
Ooh. I don't know. You could just surprise me. I'll take whatever creative flow hits you once you grab the instrument.
Okay, yeah.
Yukin!
Like that.
Oh
So
my god. I am
cool.
bowing down. I am throwing my uke in a ditch.
Thank you. Yeah, so that was just like water-ish, my original water, and then I
Mhm.
just kind of played it. And yeah, she wanted to play water, so I was like, okay, let's do it.
Oh,
Yeah.
beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that. That was wow. Wow.
Thank you.
Now we're gonna head into the silly little back half of this. This is called
Okay.
Five Faves.
It's gonna be the fountain.
Oh.
It's probably really, yeah, really old school now. The fountain. It's kind of it's a sad movie, but the music is gorgeous. It's so
Hmm.
beautiful. It's by the Kronos Quartet, so it's like, classical, sad and classical, which I'm like, perfect. Yeah. You know
Nice.
that movie by any chance? Do you
Uh,
know
I
that?
haven't I haven't
Okay.
seen that one.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, it's a beautiful one. Yeah.
Hmm. I'm gonna watch it now though. I always watch any movies that people come on here and I haven't heard. I'm like, I'll watch it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one. Yeah.
Awesome.
Ooh, favorite book. Oh, okay. Well, this one's going to be a little different
Hmm.
because it's not so much a fiction story. I usually have an astrology book that I keep next to me all the time.
Oh, nice.
I actually have a couple that I keep next to me all the time. And so I guess those are my favorite books.
Hmm.
I guess I'm one of those people where, what's your birthday? And then I have to like look it up and then I read
Hmm.
it all. So yeah, but I guess those are my favorite books.
Now I'm not a huge astrology girly, but I know kind of I know I'm a Leo.
Oh, Leo. Nice.
Um, I think I'm also a Leo rising, maybe,
Oh, I can see that.
and I'm gonna look it up because I brought it up. Hold on,
Yeah.
because it says it on Snapchat actually, which is weird.
Oh,
They give you your whole rundown.
wow.
I have an Aquarius moon and a
Nice.
Leo rising. So yeah, I don't know if
Nice.
that's
Okay.
I
You
don't know if
got a lot
that's
of
cool.
fire and a lot of air, so you're pretty analytical, pretty out there. Aquarius moon though, so you're creative inside, like an artist inside.
Hmm.
Yeah, but I would be really curious to see you on stage because you're a Leo. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. You tell me where you're gigging after this. Yeah, if you're touring anywhere.
Ooh, yeah. I'm doing some festivals throughout the summer, and then I'll be over West Coast. I'll be at the LA Fest in September.
Ooh, that's a
Yeah.
fun one. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's a pretty big
I'm
one.
excited about that one. Yeah.
Oh gosh, that's a tough one. I love Johann Sebastian Bach. I'm gonna go
Nice.
classical here. I
Hmm.
play a lot of his music and I love the way he thinks. And it's so amazing. He was born in like hundreds of years and we're still listening to his music.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, Johann Sebastian Bach. There's just something very methodical but makes sense. And it's just so beautiful. It's like math, but music.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. And in terms of musical legacies, isn't it so cool to see how we could still be listening to something from that far? And like that's the goal, I think, to do
I,
something any kind of impact on during our lives that would last that long is like really beautiful. So I like that answer. I
I
like a great classical answer. Hmm.
thanks.
I know your favorite drink is matcha latte.
Yes, always. Oh goodness. I love sushi. Oh
Mhm.
gosh. Okay, if we're gonna go there, I love poke. I eat poke every day. I do.
Mhm.
Yeah. So like, I think we're blessed here and a little spoiled with raw fish here in the, Polynesia, Hawaiian Islands. So
Mhm.
I'm very spoiled. There's so many different types of poke, 5 minutes away from here. So yeah. Have you tried?
So I don't know if I know it's definitely a problem with sushi. I'm allergic to avocado
Oh,
and shellfish. So those are kind of the big two. But do you
yeah.
have any recommendations for people in my horrible predicament? What should I eat?
Goodness.
I
I know
know.
like vegan sushis. I don't
Hmm.
know. Yeah. But
I know.
yeah.
I can eat fish. I just can't eat like shellfish. So like
Oh,
that might help. Like I can't eat like
Okay.
crab or shrimp or lobster, which is very upsetting. But
Yeah.
I can eat like cod and stuff, like fish.
Okay. Yeah. Next, yeah, if you ever come to Hawaii, you have to try.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
We
And
have
spam.
pokey places here, but like in New York, it's like it's gonna be better where you are, not where I am.
Yeah. 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 Okay. Cool.
But yeah.
I love working out.
Mhm.
I really do. I enjoy it a lot. I'm currently, I hurt myself. I injured myself because I did it so
Oh,
much that I injured
no.
myself. But I love working out. I think there's just something about the endorphins after. It kind of
Mhm.
calms me down. It just kind of helps me think a little bit straighter and a little bit more clear, which I do think is very helpful with my job and my career and playing music. So I think that's a really nice balance.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
meant to ask you earlier, you have yoga in your Instagram bio, and
that,
I started doing yoga back in January, so I'm still a little new to it. But
yeah.
I was curious how both working out and yoga and all these kind of nice physical things you do, how does that blend into your ukulele playing, both mentally and then part of, I guess that, well, I guess it would be mentally. Does that carry over into how you approach your playing now?
Absolutely. And I also think it's very helpful physically because
Hmm.
I am quite strenuous when I play and I like to jump around.
Hmm.
For me, it's almost like an athletic thing to perform.
Yeah.
And it's the same repetitive movement. And I've noticed as I get older, I'm definitely feeling it a little bit more. And,
Hmm.
my body is my tool to do what I love to do. So I
Yeah.
really do keep that in mind and take that into consideration because yoga just honestly, it helps the brain for sure,
Hmm.
but it helps stretch out those and warms up those muscles that I'm going to use. And so I don't injure myself because I have
Yeah.
injured myself playing music. So
Oh
I take it
no.
really seriously now, to make sure that I'm strong, especially when you're touring,
Hmm.
because you're like weird sleep, weird food. And so, you need some sort of balanced like rootedness. And so yoga, I follow a couple YouTube girls and so it's free and you can just help like stretch out from like sitting in cars or being on airplanes for so long. It really is like helpful to try and be healthy to be able to give your best at a show.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. I started yoga with just the one goal. I wanted to touch my toes. That was the only thing. I
Oh.
was like, I'm 20 something. I should be able to do this and I can't do it. So, I passed that benchmark and then I was like, I'm just going to keep at it because now I'm in it and I've developed the daily habit of it. So yeah, and I noticed too like it kind of, for lack of a better term, it does zen me out, which is nice. We get nice and zen, and then when I play, I can have more of a relaxed and kind of open-minded approach to playing. If I mess something up, I'm not gonna freak out about it. I'm just gonna keep going, and I'll get it the next time that note comes around or whatever. So that's really cool. And I noticed that when I started doing yoga, that you also do yuka yoga, and I was like, hey, that's cool. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I hope there's like a retreat or like some sort of workshop soon because I think, it'd be kind of cool to do like a yoga ukulele type of thing.
Yeah, that would
You're
be
like,
really cool.
yeah, yeah, because you're like constantly just like this for like
Mm-hmm.
hours, especially when you practice too. You're just like
Mm-hmm.
this. And so you need to like do something else to just get your body kind of back to like realignment. You're gonna feel it as the older you get. I'm just telling you now. So that's good that
I
you're doing yoga now. That's great.
I know. I gotta get my stretches in now before it hurts too bad already down the line. Viggy Talks is brought to you in part by my Patreon page. You could sign up today to join the citizens of Viggytopia to receive weekly annotated fingerstyle tabs, monthly workshops, tour diaries, and a whole bunch more. Thank you to all the current citizens of Viggytopia for supporting me and supporting this month's episode of Viggy Talks, and your name could be here too by signing up at patreon.com/jiggywithviggy. I'm gonna let you promo whatever you would like here.
Cool.
Tell people about your tour coming up. The new single is gonna be out by the time this is out, but let
Okay.
everybody know what you got going on.
Yeah, so for this year, it's been much different. I've been really focusing on releasing singles rather than just an album or just touring. So
Mhm.
that's been kind of new. I've been coming out with singles, I'd say every couple months. So I just came out with Gotta Get It, which is very different. It's electronic beats, but it's also going to be available in Dolby Atmos, which is kind of a new thing for audiophiles and people who are who want to be immersed in all
Mhm.
different ways in the song. And it's just a really cool experience, especially with this electronic vibe. So very happy that this one came out.
Mhm.
And I have a couple other like in my sleeve that we'll be releasing throughout the year. So people can kind of expect to see singles releasing for the rest of the year every couple months. All different types of things, originals as well as some covers. So you're going to hear like Cello Suite coming out, Cello Suite in G major, which I'm pretty sure, yeah, that's Bach, of course,
Mhm.
Bach. Yeah, so I'll be doing that, and then I am coming on tour, USA tour, so West Coast and East Coast, and that will be in the summer. We're looking at July 13th to like August 10th, so like a full month. Um,
Awesome.
I'm still trying to figure out where I'm going to be touring,
Mhm.
but they can get all of that information on my website, taimane.com, or even better on Instagram. I definitely have all of that information on my Instagram and TikTok. I'm getting there. I'm getting there with the TikToks.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. Well, thanks so much for coming to chat with me today. I wish you the best of luck with all of your tour scheduling and your new singles that are coming out. I'm just, like I said, huge fan, huge inspiration to what I've been doing. So just keep on inspiring us fellow female finger stylers, and just creating beautiful music. I'm here for it.
Thank you. It was really a pleasure to meet you, and I hope to meet you at one of these festivals soon.
Yes, same here. Oh my god, I would be fanning myself off before I said hi, but it would be such an honor to meet you. So yeah, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and thanks everybody for tuning in to this month's episode. Like, subscribe, all that stuff, to promote a podcast, and I'll see you next month. Bye.